Section 5.
Our DVD collection.
Our DVD collection.
So I've never hand counted it.
I wouldn't want to.
I've estimated it. I once did it by, I counted up a shelf and did some math. It's somewhere around 2,500 DVDs. Down here, there's about 100 Nintendo games. I'm trying to sell them. I think the retro market is not doing so good. Or just nobody's going to buy 100 Nintendo games. I'm probably going to have to piece it out.
Yeah, probably.
Or maybe I'll keep them. But let's go through it. So the very top, the way we organize this is television goes on the very top. And it's kind of messy and nothing's really in order because it's just one shelf, and that seems to be where we've added most to the collection after we got it organized.
Yeah.
The television stuff kept appearing. So that's where everything that television series, some of my favorites up there. We've got a lot of the original Star Trek. We've got the first couple seasons of Saturday Night Live.
They have the original Star Trek?
Looks like.
Where?
What are those 5? Right there. Just says Star Trek.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what those are.
I imagine they're not Voyager.
I'd have to stand up and look.
I believe I have the West Wing box set. I'm very proud of my West Wing box set. I love that thing. That was a gift. You got Fraggle Rock, the complete series.
Yeah. I think I got the complete series of Buffy.
Yes, you do. You have every season of Buffy. Clerks, the animated show, I think it ran for 2 episodes. But I've always had a lot of fun watching that because they tamed it so much. Some British Who's Line, Aeon Flux. I really like Aeon Flux.
We got the Muppet Show.
A lot of Muppet stuff. A lot of Peanuts. A lot of Peanuts too.
Yeah.
So the television stuff, admittedly, we don't. Oh, and Daria. I've got the complete Daria, but I don't.
And the West Wing.
I pointed out the West Wing. They changed the audio for Daria, the soundtrack. They had to for licensing. And it's okay. It's okay. Could be better.
Yeah.
But it's...
They do that a lot on Netflix too.
Yep. Yeah, the Wonder Years. It's totally wrong without that soundtrack.
Yeah.
But Daria kind of holds up even without the soundtrack, where the Wonder Years, to me, less.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the top shelf. The second shelf is starting on that side, I guess, the right. If I'm facing it, it's my left. Is mostly Criterion Collection for about a third of it. I have a lot of fun Criterion. I have Salo. Don't Google it. Don't even look it up. Paul wanted to see it.
Yes.
And it took him all weekend to finally go, I want to see it. I'm like, I don't know that I want to show it to you, man. I don't know, man. It's pretty hardcore. Pretty hard to watch. And he was like, no, I want to see it. So I showed it to him. He was like, oh, I get why you're reluctant. But it was really good. It's very well made, but it is hard to watch.
It is.
Slacker, that's classic Austin. That's Richard Linklater's first film. Mm-hmm. Well, second film, if you don't include You Can't Learn to Read by reading, or You Can't Learn to Farm by reading books, but they include that in the box set. It's a black and white short film. A lot of Kurosawa, a lot of the art house collection. I remember we were buying those because Barnes & Noble used to have a 50% off Criterion sale, and that was about the only way you could get them at anything reasonable. So when that would come around, we'd just go nuts and get all the stuff we wanted, though I never did get a copy of Brazil. Following along, the rest of this I do very much in a filmmaker. I tend to get the filmmakers grouped together, so this is all The Fountain, The Wrestler, Pi, Darren Aronofsky stuff, and then it's all of my Tim Burton stuff. I'm very tired. Tim Burton, Batman, Big Fish, Mars Attacks, Sweeney Todd, Beetlejuice, Corpse Bride, Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. The good Burton. Frank Capra collection. I love Frank Capra. I love it when things are Capra-esque. Then I've got my Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended cuts, all of my Dune stuff. Dune, the collector's edition with the bad television cut. Though that's the David Lynch Dunes. Then I've got the Sci-Fi Channel remake and the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries Children of Dune. I love the Dune universe. Then for some reason this seems to be out of order, I've got a documentary called Ringers, which is about the guys who waited in line to see one of the Lord of the Rings. Or at least that was part of it. It was really a documentary about the history of Lord of the Rings. And then we've got the Star Wars stuff, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is downstairs on Blu-ray. Rogue One's downstairs on Blu-ray. THX 1138, because it is my George Lucas collection, right? So, and then for some reason I've got Star Wait, which is a documentary about the guys who waited in line at the Mann's Chinese Theater for like 6 weeks to see Episode 2. And if you'll remember, Episode 2 is arguably the worst of the Star Wars prequels, and they were very excited when they got to see it, but it's kind of fun. Then I got the Indiana Jones stuff, the good stuff, not that awful new one. And then my Kevin Smith stuff, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, Vulgar, Evening with Kevin Smith 1, 2, and 3, Dogma, Clerks, Clerks 2. Oh wow, I got 2 copies of Dogma. Jersey Girl. I never got Red State. Then I got my Rockies.
I thought we had Red State, but it was downstairs.
No, never got Red State. We saw it on Netflix.
Oh.
Then my Rockies, Rambo. I got all of them, except for like the bad remakes. Though I've got Rocky Balboa. It's awful. Preston Sturgis box set. Then I've got my Tarantinos. I have everything Quentin Tarantino ever made. Except the first one. Reservoir Dogs. I don't know why I don't have Reservoir Dogs up here. Then the end of this is kind of my documentaries and my weirdo music stuff. I got some music clinic stuff. I got Henry Rollins spoken word stuff.
Yes.
That's really yours. Some Victor Wooten stuff. My favorite out of that part is Standing in the Shadows of Motown. I think that's a great album. And then when we come down to this shelf and below,
We kind of do it in alphabetical order by...
we generally just group them by letter.
Yeah.
And since the last time we did that, it's all kind of fallen by the wayside. It's kind of all over the place. I have the original Narnia animated, the BBC stuff. That's very cool. I've got every Narnia movie that Disney and then Fox. They did the third one. I keep hoping they'll finish the Narnia series. I'd love to see like the last battle, but there's no way they're going to do it unless they make the previous 6. And the best we've ever gotten is 3, and we've gotten the 3 twice. So I'm down for like an indie Narnia, because isn't it public domain at this point? Maybe not.
Don't know.
There's a lot of cool stuff in here. I have about half of the AFI top 100 movies. So I've got Citizen Kane and all that. Metropolis was probably the first time I got really interested in German noir.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little tough because it's silent, but at this point in my life, I like to sit around and improvise a score to it. Maybe I'll do that one. That's a public domain film. I should probably do that, just like improvise a score to Metropolis and live stream it for you guys.
Okay.
What else? What stands out to you in our collection? Both versions of Donnie Darko? Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I really like German Impressionism.
Yeah.
Chinatown was great.
Lawrence of Arabia.
God, that movie is one of those you really have to see it on a large screen.
Yeah.
The scale of it gets lost on a television.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, we have actually watched most of these.
Yeah, about most of them. There's a few that are still unopened. This of Unknown Origin. Legend is very good. Legend's an early Tom Cruise, and that's Ridley Scott's second film.
Yeah.
He did that right after Blade Runner. I've got the Blade Runner box set in here somewhere. It's tough when you have a collection like this because people like to come over and they just kind of get lost searching through it.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch Netflix much, you'll know what I'm talking about, where you kind of get lost just perusing the selection,
Mm-hmm.
and then you never really get around to watching anything. Where we kind of went the other way. For some reason, I don't have all my Richard Linklaters grouped together. Like Waking Life is here, Slacker's up there.
Yeah.
I have every Fast and the Furious movie. I say that proudly, which everybody in the audience wanted to.
I think the reason Richard Linklater isn't grouped together is because that one's Criterion and this one.
Yeah, that's why.
Not.
Speak up. So, Little Miss Sunshine, Eulogy, that's always a favorite.
Yes.
So then, some of them that I've watched a little more often will be behind me here, just kind of, shoved back onto a shelf. And looking through that, I have everything Stanley Kubrick's ever done in both DVD and Blu-ray.
Uh-huh. And here we have our Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's our Christmas movies.
Because we pulled them out at Christmas to have on in the background during Christmas dinner and ended up only watching 2 of them.
This one's kind of fun. This is the Yomega Mania Yo-Yo tutorial DVD. Do all those 90s style tricks.
Yep.
Before Yo-Yo got really, really happening. Behind you is an Alfred Hitchcock box set that's very nice.
Yes.
And
why it's kind of over here by itself, I don't know.
Yeah, things kind of get shoved. This general area's been collecting Atari,
And
Coleco, and a lot of cassettes.
Yes.
Over here, I don't know if you can see it, this batch of whites, my Wii games. It kind of becomes a catch-all. I built these shelves. I think there's 4 brackets on each shelf, and it's rock solid. You're not going to be able to take this thing down. But it was a big project. It was a weekend.
It was.
I had to spray all these boards. But I think I only spent, I spent less than $100 putting these shelves up. So
I wouldn't know. I wasn't here when you did it.
I know, you were out of town. It was great. You got home, and there was just shelves.
Yes.
I think it took me a couple weeks to get the DVDs upstairs. It was a process.
I think you made me help with that.
No, I remember Greg and I dragging most of them up.
Okay.
What we do is we take your big suitcase and fill it with
That's
DVDs.
what you did with it.
But then once we filled it with DVDs, we could barely lift it up the stairs. So it was then we started filling it halfway. It was a lot of DVDs at once is very heavy.
Yes.
But
I think my favorite one are DVDs.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars box set,
The original trilogy.
on VHS.
Yep.
Though that's the one where Han doesn't shoot first.
Oh, really? I thought that was the one where Han shot first.
Nope, I'm pretty sure Lucas.
Lucas got to that one first?
I think so. I'd have to pop it in a player to verify. And I'm kind of down to watch Star Wars on VHS. That's kind of a fun night to me. So that's our... And I got some PS2 games floating in here, some PS1 games. We got a Weird Al box set, Tom Petty. At one point we had the CDs on a couple of shelves, but then the DVD collection got too big to share the CDs. Now the CDs are on another wall.
Yeah, 95. I think these are the ones Lucas got too.
Yeah. And maybe another episode I will actually go through my 100 Nintendo games one by one. That'd be fun.
Okay.
And yeah, that's a general overview of our DVD collection. Riddick, we have a mutual love of science fiction, so there's a lot of good science fiction here.
Yeah.
One of my favorite underlooked science fiction is actually Gattaca. I think Gattaca is an excellent film. So leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite DVD is. What your DVD collection looks like, and leave me a comment. Ask me if something's in the collection, and I'll confirm it. And all right, let's move on.